In a lush, green forest filled with the melody of birds and the rustle of leaves lived a little squirrel named Sammy. Sammy was known throughout the forest for his bushy tail and his habit of burying his acorns in peculiar places. One day, Sammy decided he wanted to be more than just a squirrel. He wanted to be respected, feared even. As he sat on a branch, observing the other animals, an idea struck him like a bolt of lightning. If only I had wings, I would be unstoppable, he thought. He looked enviously at a red kite soaring high above him. That's it. I'll make wings for myself and become the most powerful creature in the forest, Sammy declared. He gathered twigs and leaves, fashioning them into wings that were as big as his body. He tied them to his limbs with vines, and with a determined look on his face, he jumped off the tree. To his horror, instead of flying, he simply plummeted to the ground. Ouch! Sammy cried, defeated and embarrassed. He scurried back up the tree. As the sun began its slow descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Sammy returned to his home. His mother, a picture of serenity, was hanging upside down on a branch inside their cozy dray. Sammy recounted his failed attempt at creating wings, his voice heavy with disappointment. "Don't you see, Sammy," she said softly, interrupting his tale of woe. "You are perfect the way you are. Why do you want to be someone or something else?" "But Mom, all the animals will respect me if I had wings," Sammy insisted. "They won't laugh at me. Your father was the fastest squirrel in the forest. Your brother can leap from branch to branch with ease, and you can bury your acorns deeper than any squirrel I know," his mother reminded him. What more could you want? Sammy, deep down, he knew his mother was right, but the desire to be more than what he was, to be extraordinary, was a longing he couldn't shake. The next morning, after a breakfast of nuts and berries, Sammy set out on a new mission. This time he was going to create a disguise that would make everyone believe he was a majestic eagle. He found a large leaf, painted it with berry juice, and fashioned a beak out of clay. With his mother's gentle guidance, he attached the clay beak to the leaf, creating a mask that was as detailed and lifelike as a sculptor's masterpiece. He hid behind a tree, his painted leaf mask in place, and peeked out at the other animals. As they approached, he waited for them to gasp in awe and exclaim, "Look, an eagle!" But their reactions were far from what he had hoped for. The rabbits hopped closer, sniffing the air. The eagle's feathers were as white as snow, and its eyes glistened with intelligence. Sammy, overwhelmed with admiration, approached the eagle. "Excuse me, Mr. Eagle," he asked, "but why don't the other animals in the forest fear you?" The eagle turned its head slowly, fixing its piercing gaze on Sammy. "Why would they fear me?" it asked, its voice echoing with power. "I am just an eagle living my life." Sammy, puzzled, repeated his earlier question. "But why don't they fear you?" The eagle spread its magnificent wings, their expanse wider than Sammy's small body. "I have no need to be feared," it said. "I am not trying to be something I'm not." Sammy looked at the eagle, realizing the truth in its words. He wasn't born with wings, so he couldn't fly like the eagle. He wasn't fierce, so he couldn't be feared like the eagle. And he wasn't majestic, so he couldn't be respected like the eagle. He was just Sammy the squirrel. The thought of being true to himself filled him with a newfound confidence. He thanked the eagle for teaching him this valuable lesson. From that day forward, Sammy stopped trying to be something he wasn't. He became the best version of himself, a happy, confident squirrel who appreciated his own unique abilities. He buried his acorns with precision, leaped from branch to branch with agility, and even developed a talent for imitating the forest creatures, which made the other animals laugh and smile. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Sammy was practicing his acorn burying technique when he heard a commotion in the clearing. Curious, he climbed up a nearby tree for a better view. There he saw a group of young animals gathered around a deer. The deer was distressed, its eyes wide with fear. "There's a wolf in the forest," it stammered, its voice trembling. "It's big and scary. No one can protect us." All the animals panicked, each trying to come up with a solution to escape the danger. Then, Sammy, remembering the eagle's words about being true to oneself, had an idea. He jumped onto a log and called out, "Everyone, listen to me." The animals turned to him, their eyes questioning. "I may not be the fastest or the strongest, nor do I have wings or sharp claws," Sammy said, his voice ringing with sincerity, "but I am Sammy the squirrel, and I will not let you down." He explained his plan, which involved using his knowledge of the forest and his ability to squeeze through tight spaces to lead the wolf away from the village. The other animals, impressed by his bravery and determination, agreed to follow his lead. Together, they devised a strategy. As darkness fell, Sammy, with his keen eyesight, spotted the wolf lurking in the shadows. Guiding the other animals from a safe distance, he led the wolf on a wild chase through the forest. They dodged trees and leaped over logs, Sammy always staying just ahead of the wolf. Finally, as dawn began to break, Sammy led the wolf to a deep ravine. With a swift move, he disappeared into a hole in the side of the ravine, causing the wolf to hesitate. Thinking quickly, the animals created a loud commotion, barking, screeching, and roaring, making it seem as though there were many dangerous creatures in the ravine. Startled and confused, the wolf backed away, whimpering. In the end, it turned and fled, disappearing into the forest. The animals, exhausted but triumphant, returned to the village. They cheered for Sammy, who had shown them that true courage and respect came not from being someone else, but from embracing who you are. And so, Sammy the squirrel, who had once longed to be something extraordinary, became a hero in his own right. He learned that being true to yourself and embracing your unique abilities is what truly matters. His story echoed through the ages, reminding every creature in the forest that greatness comes not from wings, beaks, or claws, but from the courage to be yourself.